Alright folks, you ready for the next game? I certainly am. My god, that was tense. Terminus SE will be the place to be in this particular matchup. Engage the dramatic music. Melodramatic casting engaged. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you mouz.MaNa. He is in the green trunks and he is playing Protoss to the south of the Terminus SE versus his opponent, Millennium's M.Tarson. He is in the blue trunks and he is playing Terran to the east. And my oh my, what a resilient Terran he was, standing against the hordes as a singular individual. Holding on to that game for such a crazy amount of time. Yet, the forces of Mana did eventually overcome. But my god, did it take them a long time to do so. M.Tarson fought for every single bit of that base, not letting a single inch go without damage done to Mana's forces. A heroic effort there from M.Tarson, not quite enough to defeat the superior firepower of Mana. However, there's still everything to play for in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget it. It's a best-of-3 series. There's a lot of money on the line for this. And M.Tarson is, if anything, without question, resilient. Let's see how he does in this particular matchup. Here we go. Overly dramatic introduction, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's quite nice. I like that. We should have more of that, I feel. If I was to ever have an intro theme as a pro player, it would probably be from Mass Effect 2, because it's so damn epic. Anyway, that was a fantastic game between those two. It really was extremely enjoyable to watch. And M.Tarson with an amazing counter-attack. The Hellions slipped by completely unnoticed and completely gut the mineral line. And Mana's going to go Nexus first, which is a very sensible thing to do. However, he is in an awkward position here because he's spawned down to the bottom, which means that on this version of the map, he is going to be expanding here at some point, and that makes him very vulnerable to M.Tarson drops. They're just like regular drops, they're just holdier. They're more resilient, they're harder to deal with. So, M.Tarson is going to be able to drop that third very, very easily. It's actually, I'm going to just come out and say it, I don't like this map. And you want why I don't like this map is because of this. The ability to spawn in these locations. In that one player has his third very, very much open to harassment from drops, and the other doesn't, because he's over there. So, I don't like it. I just don't. Anyway. You can see exactly what's going on here. You've got the destructible debris, and in fact, this version of the map only has the destructible debris. It does not have the rocks at the rear. So it delays the third somewhat, but once the third is secure, it is very secure. At least it will be for M.Tarson at any rate. Much, much easier to hold that. Not so much for Mana, however. Well, let's see what they decide to do. So we went Nexus first, so I mean, that was the correct answer. I mean, Nexus first on this map is really standard. There's nothing unusual about that. And honestly, M.Tarson, considering he went for Command Center into Gasless Expand, there's nothing unusual about that either. Everything looking rosy for a fairly long macro game between these two, and actually I'm looking forward to that. That should be exceptional. Mana is going on to the finals at this rate if he's able to beat M.Tarson in this game. And will have done so in a very convincing fashion, I'll tell you that for a fact. Oh my god, did he do some nasty things to Demaga, I'll tell you that. Demaga is no slouch. M.Tarson gets the scout. Bit late. Sees the double gateways there. Fairly standard response, really. If you're going to go Nexus first, you tend to follow it up with double gateways, because, of course, you need to play catch-up with your army size. Otherwise, you can be very easily overwhelmed by an early-game push, which would be rather unpleasant, would it not? M.Tarson's bunker coming up right here. Wants to get rid of that probe. He's able to just throw it back just a little bit. No confirmation on expansion yet, actually. And considering the number of Marines, that might give a false impression to Mana, but he's not easily fooled either. Enough Marines moving out to perhaps deal with those two Stalkers, if well controlled, but I would definitely be very scared of the Stalker control of Mana. My god, is he good at it. 4 Marines at a time coming up right here from M.Tarson. 1 racks into 4 racks here. It's a very Drooby-esque build. 1 racks expanded to 4 racks, at least it used to be a very long time ago. A lot of Marines. Good solid defense, but no tech as of yet. Only now taking the gas on 44 supply. It's very, very late from TotalBiscuit. It's going to delay any kind of drop capability significantly. But it does give him a lot of Marines initially, so any kind of early push, not so effective. Twilight Council on the way up. Interesting. Could once again be yet more Blink Stalkers, but Mana is going to perform a little dance for you, make a little love, and get down tonight on these Marines. I tell you that for a fact, and honestly, that's X-rated. I can't show you unless you're a subscriber to the stream, in which case we can definitely show you all the gory details. Mana keeps all 4 Stalkers alive. What a fantastic bit of control here. Those Marines are getting picked off one at a time. Ballet, whirl of death here, and TotalBiscuit with a... Oh, he doesn't even catch that one out. My God, Mana is quick. And there you go. Sorting out his defenses here, and of course, Warp Gate has been delayed quite a lot. He doesn't want to build the Warp Gate yet, because he needs to get the rest of that. And this big push is going to be quite dangerous. Mana can't dance when he's in a corner, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody puts Mana in the corner, except TotalBiscuit, who is doing exactly that. That's 3 Stalkers annihilated very, very rapidly. Zealot on the way up, and right into the middle of the line goes TotalBiscuit. Damage is being done to the economy of Mana as we speak. It's going to be DTs this time around. This is what I called last time was wrong. It is actually going to be DTs this time. More and more and more damage being done. Marines are streaming across the field at this point, but there might not end up being enough units, but now TotalBiscuit decided to turn around. He actually only had 3 coming in, so nowhere near enough. Economic damage, that's 9 workers killed. Not a bad little investment there. He also annihilates several Stalkers. In the meantime, also looking to expand to take his 3rd, building the command center down there and taking the rocks out immediately and simultaneously. Liking it. Mana down to back to his base and looking to try and take his 3rd as well, and is going to go for a little bit of a gambit with DTs. A reasonable idea. The engineering base coming down. The problem is with DTs that all it really takes to shut that down is one little missile turret right there. Of course, the other possibility is that you place a pylon here and you warp in down to the 3rd. And that spreads your opponent out. So we'll see how this one works for him. 3 more gateways being added on here. Interesting. I have to wonder if he's actually going for Zealot Archon. I mean, no, he's not. He's getting Blink. Never mind. It's not Zealot Archon at all. What the hell am I talking about? With that many gateways, it's... I don't know. But he does have 3 DTs while warping in. And does he have a good location for them? Nope, they're going to be at his... Actually, never mind. He does. He's got a nice pylon hidden out of the way. Missile turret is now in place. As he runs into that, he's going to die. He's going to lose all of those DTs. Oh, so close to losing more than that. That was unpleasant. Forcing a scan there for the trade for a DT. TotalBiscuit must be pretty happy about that, though. That was shut down immediately. And now a bit of slicey action. And another scan forced. DT shut down completely. And a big push right here from TotalBiscuit. TotalBiscuit has a significant economic advantage. He has a significant advantage in terms of his army composition and his army count. Combat shield is about ready, as is stim. TotalBiscuit may want to wait for that. If he goes in with that, he's going to be in a great position, depending on how good his control is. But he's going to be continually harried by these Dark Templar, and this force is being very, very surgically sliced apart. Scalpel is being applied to TotalBiscuit there, and he doesn't like it. Back away as rapidly as he can. We've got TotalBiscuit taking now 6 gas. Interesting, considering that he's only got a Marine Marauder Medivac at the moment. Might want to get double upgrades, perhaps. Transition into Ghosts, if he's going to take that much gas, maybe. I mean, you don't need 6 gas from Marine Marauder Medivac unless you've got a lot of barracks. Which, at the moment, TotalBiscuit doesn't, really. He's only on 5, so taking 6 gas is questionable. I have to wonder what he plans on doing with all of that gas. I guess we'll find out shortly. Armory coming up, so it could very well be a very upgrade-centric build with a 2nd engineering bay. Medevac's now on the field, and there is yet another Dark Templar. There's the scan, and Mana tries to slip past, but that's not happening, I'm afraid. He's got 3 orbital commands up, so he's really not too concerned, I think, about dealing with that. Doesn't have to worry about it. Army supply count's still in favour of TotalBiscuit, although things are getting a little bit uglier. And Mana continue to warp in Dark Templars and actually throwing an Archon together. Zealot charge coming in, so it will it's almost certainly going to be Zealot Archon coming in. With the amount of Zealots he's got on the field, definitely. TotalBiscuit now rolling forward with everything he's got. Is it enough, though? TotalBiscuit's been sitting on 70 SCVs versus 62, plus 3 mules, so, again, he's still got the economic advantage. His army supply count is pretty large. He needs to be a little bit careful with those medivacs, taking a little bit of fire right there. And here we go. Can he get a good concave on this? More to the point, Zealot charge is not actually complete yet, and this is critical. Medevac's trying as best as they can to hold on to as many of those guys as possible, and Mana suddenly realizes, oh my, this is getting a bit messy. 2 more Archons coming in. There goes the Photon Cannon, a big stim. He wants to prevent those Archons from coming up. But the Zealots moving in to try and prevent that. There's the Zealot charge going off. Archons coming in. Not a lot of shields left on that one. That one is still alive. Somehow he keeps it alive. TotalBiscuit driven back. Once again. More zealots assassinated here. Gunned down with impunity by the forces of TotalBiscuit. And here we go. That's what the gas was for, folks. As I thought it might be, it's for ghosts. Mobius reactor is on the way. Primarily a gateway force, of course, with Archons. EMP very effective against that. And double Robo coming in from Mana. What does it mean? Well, that could mean absolutely anything. He's on 6 gas. Immortals could be brought into the mix, and of course Colossus would be perhaps the sensible idea. To be honest, though, with the amount of Marauders, Immortals is a really good idea right now. He's actually just going to build all the things. Never mind, Templar Archives coming in too, so hey, why not? There we go. Snipes off yet another pylon, just because. Another command center coming in, trying to secure that 4th there as well. And TotalBiscuit with a reasonably sized army, to say the least. Look at that. 83 to 38. If he goes in now, he can just win it. Straight away. He's got what he needs. He has the firepower. He has the technology. Mana doesn't really have enough of an army to stop something of that size. Especially not with that much medevac support. I think TotalBiscuit knows it. He smells it, and he's going to go for it. And Mana's going to be really hard-pressed to hold this. No ghosts, which is perhaps the only saving grace. And Mana... Yeah, TotalBiscuit sees like, so you've only got that? I'm going for it. I'm going for it right now. Pain is about to come down. Pain and suffering, and that Immortal ain't out yet. And here it goes. Big stim in right here by TotalBiscuit. Needs to get a good concave. He knows it. Preventing most of the damage from those charging zealots. Splitting in 2 there to try and avoid most of that Archon AoE. And that is the zealot wall demolished. TotalBiscuit rams his way through. He's just going to deal with the Archons now. They're the biggest threat at this point. Archons doing a huge amount of damage, in fact, to that clumped up set of units. TotalBiscuit's going to be really, really careful with his control right here. Immortal is now in the mix. Once again, and Mana holds on to that very nicely indeed. Mana shuts it down. Really nice hold. Alright. Mana's held on to that without too much of a problem in the center here. Amazingly so, I have to say, against a force of that magnitude. Good use of the Archons there, keeping as many alive as possible. Immortals now in the field, so Marauder heavy force isn't going to be so effective. Mostly Marines coming in. And there's the Ghosts as well. EMP, it's dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. EMP, it wins the fight. TotalBiscuit still with a supply advantage here. Single Dart Templar on the field. Zealot coming in for a bit of harassment, and actually dives right into the command center. Nice little bit of play there by TotalBiscuit, saves that. Very, very good indeed. Let's try that one again. I was going to go Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and Ghost. A good composition. 3 Immortals will chew its way through Marauders, but the Marauder count is not that high. It's still pretty high, admittedly. It's 4 Marauders and 6 Marines coming out simultaneously here. Production facilities for TotalBiscuit are very, very good indeed. Barracks count is currently at 9. Oh, yes. He's going to max out this army very, very shortly, and will then be able to come down on his opponent. Now, the question is, will he go in before the Colossus come out, more to the point? He probably should. His Viking count is not exactly what I'd call healthy. Maybe an engagement in the center. I'm going to probe around here, and TotalBiscuit is patrolling. You see him hating. Wants to deny that 4th. That's exactly what he wants to do. Does he have the necessary means to do so? He needs a storm at the front. Reasonable amount of damage there. Heals him back up, and in he goes again. How many more storms are available? Not a lot. Not a lot at all. And there are ghosts in the mix. This is going to get really, really messy very, very fast right here for Mana. Look for the EMP. We don't see an EMP right there, but my god, do those zealots die quickly. A single Colossus without extended thermal lance dies almost immediately. There's the charge right here from TotalBiscuit. Looks for the surround. He doesn't have a lot of an army left, though. I've got to say, he lost a lot. And there's the pickup, and once again, Mana holds on in the center. TotalBiscuit with a huge army, though, continuing to reinforce. Holding on. He's got more units ready there. High Templar now on the field. Nasty storms potentially coming in on TotalBiscuit here. TotalBiscuit's going to have to control very well in order to deal with this. Another expansion coming in for TotalBiscuit as well. Once again, he proves his economic dominance. He's looking very good right now. MaNa, in the meantime, concentrating on getting a fairly large Colossus force. He lost all of his Colossus in the last engagement. If we look at units lost, you'll see that the resources lost from MaNa are significantly higher, and yet he has mined less. So that puts him in a fairly bad economic position. TotalBiscuit now sitting on +2/+2 upgrades. Upgrade count for MaNa is, however, +3/+3, so he does have the edge there. And right now, what are we going to see from TotalBiscuit? I would imagine significantly more ghosts. He's going to have 9 coming in on the field. Some nasty stuff. +3 weapon is now complete as well, so that upgrade advantage has effectively evaporated. Still going to have to deal with those Colossus, but he does have 5 Vikings with a +2 weapon upgrade coming in. Also has, yeah, he's got some dudes in there. You might want to drop them dudes at some point. And here it comes. A massive storm! Oh my god, TotalBiscuit! Ah! Jeez, that is nasty. TotalBiscuit gets destroyed in the center, walks right into a trap. MaNa catches him out completely. And here comes the push, and I don't see how TotalBiscuit's going to be able to stop this at this point. A lot of Colossus and Ghosts get absolutely annihilated, and the Stalkers at the back remain alive. Quick stim coming in. The Stalkers are going to take a pounding, but the Marauders have been annihilated. Look at that. MaNa keeps the Colossus alive. The Immortals in the mix as well, and TotalBiscuit suddenly, against all odds, is on the back foot. And here it comes. Big pain, courtesy of mouz.MaNa. A huge force crashes down on the natural expansion of TotalBiscuit. Production facilities are under grave threat indeed. The ghost count is 0. It was slaughtered in the last engagement. MaNa smashing his way through here. A huge stack of units just ripe for the plucking. GG, MaNa! An unbelievable game. Oh my god, MaNa, you are so good at this. MaNa crashes through 2-0 in this series. What an incredible series it was, and what an amazing set of storms from MaNa. Oh my, that reminds me of an old DreamHack Winter Final, perhaps you remember. MaNa advances to the finals, folks. MaNa v Cass will be the finals tomorrow. Incredible. Incredible play. Will this be the first championship for him to win? His PVT is so strong. We know this for a fact. However, Cass is not to be messed with. You will get the chance to see that tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be starting at 1700 GMT. That's 1800 CET. That's 12 p.m. on the east coast of the US. That's 9 a.m. on the west coast of the US. It's Christmas Eve. A violent, bloody Christmas Eve it shall be. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been TotalBiscuit, bringing you the Twitch TV Invitational right here, sponsored by Playhem, Twitch TV, and Thermaltake Esports. I will be back the same time tomorrow with yet more wonderful games. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember, if you haven't already, to go and sign up to kingofweb.com to vote for me in the King of the Web contest. We are currently at 1 million votes and plenty more to go. We want to be absolutely so far ahead that there's no chance of anyone coming back. And I'm also, for every 1,000 votes, giving an extra $1 to charity. So please, I would very much appreciate your votes there. An easy way to do it is go to tinyurl.com/vote_TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much, guys. You have been, as always, a fantastic audience. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and we will see you tomorrow for yet more action.